What's up, everyone? Back once again. Oh, only a week. So,
Hello.
yep. Today, happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
Yeah. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Yeah. In the words of the announcer fish from SpongeBob, it's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
Where today we celebrate this guy.
Da 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 yeah da 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 yeah.
Yep. Today's episode is gonna be an interesting one. So we tackled one popular Disney modern Disney show with Gravity Falls. I think it's only fitting that we talk about another one.
Yeah. Though this is the last of the three big ones. And I say three big ones because all three shows had because Gravity Falls had two of the two creators of the other two shows involved. Today we are going to be getting into the Owl House.
So yeah. And we're going to talk about a bit of this show and how Disney massively screwed this show over.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say that this is Disney's worst treated show. I mean, they treated Wander Over Yonder, Teacher's Pet, Nightmare Ned, and Haley's on It a lot worse. But this is a notable example of them trucking over a show, similar to what Nickelodeon did with Harvey Beaks.
So with that out of the way, let's give a little bit of history about the show itself.
The creator Dana Terrace originally worked on Gravity Falls.
And yep, and one thing you'll know is that her and Alex Hirsch actually know each other.
Mm-hmm.
And even more so when you realize that Donna Terrace is both friends with Matt Braley.
Yeah. By the way, to a specific witch out there, no, Dana Terrace did not rip off Amphibia. Both shows were pitched to Disney at the exact same time, and both the similarities between both was just coincidences.
This show premiered as far back as 2020, so 6 years ago.
Dang.
Yep, 2020. To not put it kindly, was a terrible year for everyone. We all know why 2020 was the worst year ever.
Yeah. The pandemic, as well as Netflix's Cuties.
Yep. And one thing you'll know right away is that this show came out the exact same year as the Mulan remake. We'll be getting a bit more into that when we talk about how they screwed the show over. But yeah, 2020, the pandemic was an awful year for pretty much all involved because we had to, stay quarantined and we couldn't, go anywhere.
And 2021 was pretty much 2020 part 2.
And yeah. And of course, when we talk, and of course, because of the effects of the pandemic, most new movies that were supposed to come out that year got delayed, or had to go to streaming or on digital.
Yeah, the movie called Connected was originally going to come out in 2020, but due to the pandemic, it ended up being pushed back to 2021. AKA, that movie is now known as The Mitchells versus the Machines.
Yep, and other things that were delayed by the pandemic included Minions 2, and of course Raya the Last Dragon. And of course, pretty much every MCU title that was supposed to come out in 2020. And of course, when we talk about the shows of 2020, they were still able to come out. Because of course, we were all still watching TV during that time.
Yeah. Though when it came to a lot of the shows that came out in 2020, some of the there were quite a number of them that were not too good. We all know about Thundercats Roar. I also didn't like Ollie's Pack, and the less said about Rent a Girlfriend, the better.
That being said, there was one show that during that year that managed to become a hit, and that's today's show.
Yep, The Owl House.
And this show is known for a lot of things, especially if you're a person of the LGBT community.
Mm-hmm. Though I know of a lot of people who didn't really get into the Owl House at first because of the first couple of episodes, but as the show went on, the fan base of the show grew even bigger.
Yep, and of course, How did we first get into the show? Might as well start with yours.
So in February of 2020, I ended up accidentally breaking my leg when I was stepping out of a truck. What happened was that I accidentally missed the bus that day, given that I assumed that the bus was not coming because it was very cold and it was snowing quite a lot. So my mom had a guy come and pick me up so that so that he would take me to the tech center bus that I basically that went to the tech center technology center that I went to at the time. I ended up stepping out and broke my leg when I fell on ice. And during that time, I got into a lot of shows, including Amphibia, and yes, even the Owl House.
So, for my little bit of history of how I first got into the show, I knew about this show enough back in 2020, back when it first came out. And I do recall, because back then, it was far back as 2021. Mind you, I watched a few episodes before I saw Gravity Falls. It was on the Disney Now app. It was that I had on my TV. And I was watching a couple of episodes. It wasn't until I got to Once Upon a Swap I kind of just stopped watching the show after that for multiple years. But for many years I haven't really seen this show, although I have known about it to some degree. It wasn't until originally I was tempted to watch it a few times until I found a Google Drive that I found on Twitter that someone was giving out for free, and I was like, I'm watching this show. And thus started January of this year. I finally caught myself up with this show, albeit in watch-alongs.
Yeah, we basically watched the entire show in a watch along.
And for the record, we made sure to do this every weekend to 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah, though for the end of season 1, we actually ended up watching 5 episodes, I think.
Yep. So yeah, we started the show on the first weekend of January all the way until mid-February.
Mm-hmm.
And how do we? And yeah, this show is definitely definitely a massive hit, but it was also the subject of stupid people. We all know who we're taking aim on.
Yeah,
China.
The witch,
as well
China.
Yeah. I like to remind you that this came out the same year as the Mulan remake. And here's something you'll know about the Mulan remake. The Mulan remake, I shit you not, was filmed in Chinese concentration camps.
Mm-hmm. That alone made the movie abysmal.
There's a reason why I refuse to watch Disney live action remakes. But yeah, and of course, knowing Disney, they would rather appease to China. Because they literally made a thing, in the end credits of that movie, they literally sent thank you letters to concentration camps in China.
This Disney we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're talking about how they screwed the show over. I brought up the Mulan remake as an example of how much Disney likes to suck up to China.
Mm-hmm. Right. And also that whole stuff, when people try to slam Disney for being the W word, Disney only cares about money. They screw over projects with DEI in them just for profit. And if it's going to affect their business, they'll screw it over.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and
I mean, and also there was this whole thing. with how they have a history of whitewashing Marvel characters. And which is also laughable because for Captain America 4, they decided to bring back a controversial character that was a really bad idea to bring back in the first place, but things only got worse with recent events going on in West Asia.
Yeah. Apparently, the reason as to why Disney ended up canceling the Owl House was because it quote didn't fit the Disney brand.
Yeah.
Disney, I know why it didn't fit their brand. I know exactly why. And it all has to do with this particular image I showed you.
Yep.
And we all know which episode was practically the cause of that.
Yeah. Enchanted Grom fight.
Oh, I thought it was because Disney loves Family Guy more than the Owl House because Family Guy is nothing more but brain rot and white noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, to anyone saying Disney ruined Family Guy, bro, it was ruined when Disney bought it.
Hell, otherwise Disney
Yeah.
Around.
So yeah.
And another thing, and by the way, Disney was always planning on trucking the show over because they announced in May of 2021 that after season 2, they were going to that Dana Terrace and the rest of the crew were only going to be given 3 specials, and that would be it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the good thing about original shows. They always get screwed over anyway. And it's not our show's fault for canceling the Owl House. It's not Big City's Green's fault.
Yeah, Disney literally decided to bum rush this show and Donna Terrace's crew because any potential concepts that would have been explored, boom, all attributed to Disney.
Yep, blame Disney. Blame Disney.
I mean, Disney. Disney also did this with the Ghost and Molly McGee. I remember when they kept on leaking episodes on Disney Plus before they even aired on TV.
Exactly. And you know what? It's hard for me to watch that show while I'm in Canada. I had to wait for the whole season 2 to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, because China is filled with anti-LGBTQ plus people, of course, guess what Disney side they had to take? They of course had to take China's side because they didn't want to lose the Benjamins from China.
It's Milan 2020 all over again.
Mm-hmm. Which
yes.
And yeah, also sorry, lost my train of thought. And Dana Terrence,
like,
I pretty much share a lot of her sentiments about Disney nowadays.
Yep.
Yeah. Even before Bob Chapek basically took the mantle, Disney was already trucking things up beforehand. As we mentioned before, the whole Mulan remake. Although things only got worse when Bob Chapek basically came in, and they didn't improve when Bob Iger came back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank goodness he is leaving tomorrow. Though I am a bit hesitant. Will be that situation in Megamind. Oh, not your savior. You're just under new management.
Yeah, I am still very skeptical with the new addition, the new person who's going to be in charge of Disney, because it's going to take a lot to unfix the damage that Iger and Chapek have done.
The Cold Shrek, join the club. We got jackets.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Razor and Wrecker, how did you get into the Owl House?
Okay,
well,
I'll start. I saw it on watchcartoon.com. I checked it out. I actually loved the first episode. At first, I thought Luce was a bit of a troublemaker because she brought fireworks. But I was won over by King. He reminded me of Cubone.
Of who?
King.
No, King. Who did you remind you of?
Cubone.
Cubone.
In Salem.
Ah.
And he also reminded me of Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah, Salem was voiced by Norbert from the Angry Beavers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know about him. Yes.
So
And honestly, I'm shocked we don't have an official King plush. Come on, Disney, I buy that.
Mm-hmm.
Along with Alligator Loki.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly,
And by the way, to the witch, Dana Terrace was only given 3 specials. They weren't able to have these episodes, have the final 3 episodes be multiple episodes, dude.
okay,
Yep.
and honestly, I love the show ever since then.
all right. So Razor, how did you get into the show?
Well, I heard all these good things about it, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna check it out. This was at an interesting time in my life, because I didn't know what to be doing, and I'm sorry. And then I watched a few episodes prior, and I enjoyed it. But then some things came up. Then I was able to watch this season 1, and I enjoyed it. Then I watched season 2, enjoyed it as well.
Mm-hmm,
Was a bit bummed to hear the news, but yeah, I can see the hype. I mean,
Yeah.
I plan to rewatch it. Look, sometime.
Honestly,
Yep.
I
And for the record, I was able to get a drive from one user on Twitter. But one thing you'll know about Donna Terrace is that she literally told her audience, "Pirate this show."
That is based. That is based of her.
Because Disney decided to sell out to AI slop.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Why pay
and they also threw Jimmy Kimmel under the bus because they were worried about Donald Trump basically taking away their funding.
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, another thing with how Disney doesn't care about DEI, they will make this whole do this whole thing make a big deal about casting a black Ariel or a Latino Snow White, but then when the film starts to underperform, they pretty much throw those actresses under the bus.
Oh, I honestly feel bad for them. I mean, okay, I feel bad for Haley Bailey because she had to deal with the shit from racist a-holes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some of them were racist. Some of them didn't like her performance because it wasn't good. I thought it was fine, but it could have been better.
Of course.
As for Rachel Ziegler, it was fine, but honestly, I think she could handle it worse than Haley Bailey.
Though I have to say her it was laughable how she was getting all this hate. For the record, I don't agree with her comments, but compare that to what Gal Gadot was supporting.
I'll give you why they give her a free pass, because she's hot. Ugh.
Of course, I'd make the case she's not that hot to begin with.
and I'm gonna say it. Tom Wiseau is a better actor than Gal Gadot.
What's to bet that rabbit who appeared in the Snow White premiere is a better actor than Gal Gadot?
Yeah.
I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
M. Night Shyamalan, The Last Airbender cast is better than Gal Gadot.
So yeah,
Right.
That's how we got into the show, and that's how we got a little bit of history into this show. Now it's time to talk about things about this show that we love and don't love.
Okay, I'll start. I like the idea of how the setting is on a dead Titan's corpse. That's kind of dark, but I love it.
Let's talk a bit about the characters first, starting with, of course, our main girl here herself, Luz.
I love Luz.
She's amazing. At first I was on the fence of her, but she grew on me.
Yeah, at first she comes across as being a character that is a bit of a troublemaker, but deep down she's just different.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And of course, because she's different, she ends up going. She's forced to go to a summer camp. Yeah.
Yeah, though, what we find out later on in the show is that Camilla didn't even want to send her to that camp. Like, she was being peer pressured by the principal to do something about Luz.
Still better mother than Lois Griffin.
Like, do you want to know what that summer camp is called? It literally says Reality Check Summer Camp. Would you want to send anyone to this place?
No, absolutely not.
It's basically a place where they basically take away your independence and fun nature.
Honestly, I probably break out and probably go to Vegas.
So of course, Luz ends up and accidentally ends up in the boiling aisle.
Guys, so we just.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, and by the way, to a certain witch, the reason as to why Luz ends up lying in this show is mainly because of the fact that she wanted to learn to be a witch, like her favorite character from her favorite novel.
Yes,
that is not by J.K. Rowling.
Yep. And of course, she ends up encountering Ida, who's basically was currently at the time on the run.
I actually heard a theory that Grunkle Stan from Gravity Falls was married to Ida the Owl Lady.
That fits because there's this joke I did, like when it was revealed with the graphic novel that that is going to serve as a continuation of the Owl House, that Ida will be swearing. And for a joke, I was like, wait, with Ida, wait, I'm no longer on the Disney Channel. I can swear for real.
I actually buy that fan theory more than Gravity Falls and Rick and Morty being connected.
Yep.
Side note, I'd totally like to see, Wendy Malick, in her, at a Comic-Con or something, and her, actually swearing as Ida.
Oh, yeah, that'd be perfect.
I mean, we got it with Brady Lease as Azula.
Yeah.
Which hearing Azula swearing is so oddly satisfying.
Getting back to Ida, she's basically the cool aunt that basically supports Luz's decisions.
Yeah, and also she's awesome, badass.
Yep, and of course we also have our other residents from the Outlaws include of course King, voiced by our ghost Alex Hirsch.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Crook Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I only had him for a day and a half. If anything bad happens to him, I kill everyone in this room and then myself.
King and Hootie are some of the funniest characters in this entire show.
Yeah, it's Alex. I heard Alex Hirsch base Hootie of a bad Mickey Mouse impression.
Yeah. Also, not only is King funny, but he has this very heartbreaking arc where he finds out that his father was actually an imposter.
Yeah.
Oh, hey guys.
Hello, Matthew the Crab.
But yeah, and of course we have Hootie himself, our titular Owl House, who is absolutely fucking hilarious.
Yes, he has the best lines, and I learned a few things. Never pick a fight with him.
Oh, I hope that wasn't junk mail.
But I was like,
hang on, I need to reconnect downstairs.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Yeah, Hootie is hilarious.
Yep, and of course, and Luz of course ends up going to Hexside.
Where she meets some of the other important characters in the show, Gus and Willow.
Yep.
And of course, Katara's new life.
Okay,
Yep.
I'll be honest.
What-
I was ready to hate Amity, but as her character development came in, I love her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like we originally thought we were like in Amity's very first appearance, we thought she was just gonna remain Luz's rival for the remainder of the series.
But
And we
nope.
assumed that she was just gonna be a stock bully character with no development.
Mhm.
However,
like even though I do think that Gravity Falls is a better show overall, something that I think that the Owl House does better than Gravity Falls is regarding its rich and snobby character, because after Northwest Mansion Mystery, Pacific and Northwest didn't get any major appearances ever again. Meanwhile, Amity in this show does get major appearances afterwards.
Yep.
For the exact same reason as to why I think that Sasha Waywright from Amphibia is basically a better Pacifica, because she actually got development.
Yeah, true.
Mhm.
And I wish I could say the same with Andrea Davenport, but fuck Disney.
Yep. And of course, yeah, like we were like, yeah. It wasn't until we got to the episode Convention where we start to see a different side to Amity as a character, and we got to Lost in Language. That's where we fully saw her as a three-dimensional character, that there was more to her than being a one-note bully.
Of course.
Mhm.
By the way, Lost in Language, to me, in my opinion, that episode is Little Yellow Book from SpongeBob done as right as possible, because in that episode, Luz didn't mean to read Amity's diary. She was basically being peer pressured by Amity's siblings to basically do this, and like it was basically a misunderstanding at the end of the day.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, Squidward in Little Yellow Book was aware of the fact that he was reading SpongeBob's diary.
So-
All right, I'm
so-
back.
So yeah. So Matthew, how did you get into this show?
Well, to be fair, I've heard of it in the past, but I never really got around to watching it in full. Until, of course, you guys allowed me to do so.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we were currently talking about some of the characters at the moment. We were currently on Amity.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, throughout the series, Amity
That's
goes from being the enemy to Luz to someone who gradually starts up until
you're
the
gonna laugh at
fight
this.
where they decided where she actually finally admits her feelings towards Luz, and once we finally got into season 2, that's where they're officially a couple.
It's funny. I actually made one. Of
Yep.
those. You're gonna laugh at this. I made the meme. It's like how it started. It showed Amity shaking Luz covered in abomination slime. How it ended. How it's going. And it's the finale.
Yep. And of course, we have Gus and Willow. Let's talk a bit about Willow herself, because apparently she's more interesting.
Let's see. She's. Let's see.
Apparently, she used to be Amity's best friend in the world, but Amity's parents basically pressured her to not be Willow's friend anymore.
I know. Okay, I have a comparison to give to her, but we'll get to her in a minute.
Yep, and as we saw in her very first appearance, Amity used to bully Willow for that particular reason.
Half of which Willow, yes.
Yeah, it's really hard to go back to her. I was a teenage abomination.
Especially knowing what she ends up, how she ended up turning, how she ended up turning into later on.
Yeah. It's kind of like watching. I don't know. It's like watching Zuko in the first season of Avatar. Like he's captive on catching the Avatar, but later on he becomes more awkward around it.
Who are we talking about right now?
And Willow.
Oh, Willow.
Willow, yeah.
And one thing I noticed is that throughout the series, Emily becomes a lot more awkward, whereas Luz ends up getting a lot more traumatized.
That model was not ready for the trauma.
Yeah. Apparently, Luz apparently unintentionally introduced Philip, who is now Bellows, to the Collector.
Yep, and honestly, I'm surprised she didn't go for the same shit Mabel went through with Weir and Gemmon.
Mhm.
Yep. And of course, we have, Gus, who... Yeah, I don't think there's much of his development to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, all under and because everyone in the Boiling Isles is run by by the tyrant himself, Emperor Bellows.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really love his defeat in the series finale where he basically turns into Philip and tries to say how he's changed and that he was corrupted by something, and the other characters don't care one single bit, and Ida, King, and Rain end up beating the tar out of him.
Yep.
He does, yeah. After all the shit he's done, he does not deserve to be redeemed.
Mhm.
Rex,
Yeah.
Especially especially not Odalia.
welcome to hell, motherfucker.
Yeah. That's actually something that I think that this show does much better than, say, Steven Universe. It actually has it has a better idea of which characters that they should reform and which ones are irredeemable. Like in this show, Hunter does get redeemed, but he was basically misguided. There's also Lilith, who was under the impression that Bellows was going to find a cure for Ida, but she ends up finding out that they're actually going to turn Ida into stone. And of course, there's the Collector, who is under the impression that he's playing a game with King. He doesn't realize that he's actually doing more harm than good.
Mhm.
Yep, at least 4 characters in this show at least got central redemption arcs.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
and they're much more deserved. If this was Steven Universe, they would try to basically redeem Bellows, despite the fact that he doesn't deserve it at all.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
name one thing that's redeemable about Bellows.
nothing. That'd be like redeeming Starscream. Well, depending on which incarnation.
Right. Amarta Starscream works.
Exactly. Amara Starscream
Yeah.
deserves redemption. I actually feel or any Megatron. Well, depends on the incarnation. Heck,
There is nothing redeemable about Bellows.
No.
Yeah, like if the conscience, imposes mid-slash switch, you're an irredeemable monster! What took you so long, idiot?
Like, take Frieza, for example. He's a tyrant who killed millions of people. Do you think he deserves redemption?
Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me Darth Vader, okay, he deserves redemption even though he slaughtered millions of people. He deserves forgiveness. Well, it's more like there's good in him, but I don't want to piss off Star Wars fans.
Mm-hmm.
And look at Andreas, King Andreas from Amphibia. He may have caused this whole thing, but you know what? He actually rebelled. I feel like it's okay. I wouldn't say it's a great redemption, like super redemption, but it's not. I think he deserves redemption.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to go into what how exactly Andreas is basically reformed, because that'll be going into spoiler territories with Amphibia. But
yeah, exactly. Sorry.
But yeah, it was more misguided than actively malicious.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yep.
Again, Bellows does not deserve redemption.
Yep. Yeah. Like it's funny how like 3 out of the 4 redeemed characters we just mentioned were all under the influences of one tyrannical dipshit.
Yes,
Mhm.
and there's also another irredeemable bitch, but we'll get to her in a minute.
So yeah. So we've talked about And still about some of the other important characters, we have, of course, Odalia Blight, the Blights herself, the entire Blight family.
I'll say this about Adelia Blake. She makes the Wicked Witch of the West look like Mother Teresa.
First off, I don't think I'll be hurting anyone when I say, fuck Odalia Blight.
I already said
Mhm.
this.
She's the reason as to why her daughter ended up for years basically bullying Willow into basically doing things for her because she and Amity's father basically forced her to not be friends with Willow anymore. And in one of her first appearances in the show, she gets Luz, Willow, and Gus expelled from Hexside because she thinks that they're basically distracting Amity when they really aren't.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and instead of Pedro Bump listening to their side of the story, he pretty much just ignores them.
Yep. And of course, we have, Alador, which something I noticed throughout the series that he always seems to always be miserable around Odalia.
I don't blame him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Honestly, he seems more distracted. It's
It-
almost like
Every face that he has with when he's around Odalia, he never seems to be into it, and seems like he does not want to be there.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, and especially, and she was especially horrendous near the season 2 finale, where it's revealed that she's been selling abomination androids to the villain, as well as the fact that she wanted Amity to break up with Luz, despite the fact that they just got together.
Yes, and also she knew about the Day of Unity, and she was okay with it.
Yeah.
Not to mention, Luz and Amity even shared their first big damn kiss.
Mhm.
A big F you to Disney.
Yep, and of course, which leads to one of my favorite moments is seeing Amity disown Odalia,
Mhm.
and she has every right to.
I'm not gonna lie, I probably want to see Camila beat the shit out of Odelia.
Like says it's nice to have a kids show, teach kids that you are within your right to disown your family members.
Mhm.
I'll give Amity this. Meg could take notes from Amity.
Like yeah,
I want to see Amity beat the shit out of Peter Griffin now.
yeah,
Mhm.
like says we need more shows to teach people that you're allowed to disown abusive people in your life.
Take notes, Meg.
Exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
are you guys echoing on your end?
Not me.
No.
No.
Nope.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure because I'm hooked up to the surround sound yet again.
Yep. It's like Citadel. I'm like Citadel. And of course, even Alador disowns Odalia.
Yeah, he basically turns off all of the abominations that she sold to Belos.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's nice to see that unlike other instances in MD Entertainment industry where say you should totally accept your toxic parents or toxic family members.
You know, like Seahorse Seashell Party from Family Guy, which basically taught the message that you should totally accept abuse from for your abuser's benefit.
I really hate it. I was looking forward to that episode, but they fucked it up.
It's just as harmful as
as Ivan the Incredible's overall message, honestly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same levels of harmful.
And I know
All
a
I
lot of
need
people
to
say,
say.
it's comedy. It's a comedy. Comedy. You're not supposed to take these lessons seriously.
I
You
mean,
fail at comedy.
given that Family Guy is aimed at adults,
Yeah. Family Guy. Family Guy. Is supposed to Family Guy has in the past tried to teach legitimate messages to people.
Yes, but I mean, yeah, but nowadays it's pretty much just terrible. Like, oh, you're you're in an abusive relationship. Kill the abusive asshole. That's not gonna work. Ugh.
Yep, and of course we have, Amity's siblings.
Oh, I love them.
So, fun fact. Sorry about that. That's my dogs.
One thing you'll notice is that at the start they seem to be like, I don't know, I guess somewhat against Amity.
Like they were pressuring Luz into reading Amity's diary.
Yep, and it was all at least it didn't lead to misunderstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as opposed to as we said again, other instances of people reading diaries. Cough, Squidward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
of course.
And of course, but as throughout the series, they start to become a lot more supportive of both Luz and Amity.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Fun fact: the sister, I forgot her name, is also Casey Cage in Mortal Kombat 11 and Black Cat, and she's also Black Cat in Insomniac Spider-Man.
Also, I do like how Amity's siblings, later on in the series, basically ends up helping Luz and Amity with what they were trying to do.
Yeah, and it turns out their appearances were a lie. It makes more sense.
I love
Yep.
that part, like the reveal.
Honestly, it's almost like they're. Honestly, it's pretty much the whole Blight family is a lie. I love it.
So yeah, 3 out of the all right. Wait a minute. Yeah, 4 out of the 5 blights were actually developed, whereas one of them is an irredeemable bitch.
Yep.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, that leads us to, of course, the family life between Lilith and, of course, Ida.
Okay, Lilith is actually. I kind of want to see more of Lilith and Ida rekindling their sisterhood, but until she had to move back with her mom.
Yeah. As I mentioned before, I do like how this show basically this shows how this show executed the redemption arc with Lilith, because during season 1 she was constantly trying to capture Ida, because she was under the impression that Belos was going to help Ida, but as it turns out, he was actually going to turn her into stone.
Mm-hmm.
A friend might have theory saying that that the people turned to stone weren't actually turned to stone, but maybe it could have been an illusion. But we will never know because Disney backs the show. I'm sorry if I'm
Which of course leads to, of course, Lilith and Ida now having to share the same curse.
You know that I kind of wish we saw more of Lilith's owl beast form.
And of course, I mean, who doesn't love Lilith and Hootie's dynamic?
I love it.
It's very sweet.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
I especially love knock knock on Hootie's door, where Hootie basically ends up trying to help them, but help Luz, King, and Ida. And ends up unintentionally helping them, but he thinks that he made it worse. To quote Hootie from that episode, "I made it worse. I made it worse."
Yeah, but we'll talk about more about that when we get to the episodes of the show.
Okay, I love the first Hootie made.
And of course,
don't you, Ida?
Yep, and of course we have, of course, the collector himself.
Oh yeah, a godlike being.
He very much gives me vibes of Discord from MLPFIM or Spinel from Steven Universe.
Can you imagine Discord and Collector meet?
That would be awesome.
Okay, so one fan fiction. Write that down.
Yeah, something that I really do like about the collector is that he's very much misguided throughout the show. He thinks that he and King are just playing a game, but in actuality, he's doing more harm than good. And the characters basically realize this.
Yep. And of course, one thing you'll know is that the collector does not exactly have an understanding of mortality, and thus he thinks he can just, magically fix things.
Yep.
But we all know that's not how it works.
Nope.
Yeah. This result and he had a wake up call about how mortality works when Luz ends up dying, quote unquote.
And when it comes to its characters, a lot of them are very well developed. And of course, we also have Rain here, which, thank you, we finally have a non-binary character.
Yep.
And one who is
Sorry, guess what?
Character.
That was my best pronouns versus babyface impression.
Yep.
and of course, aside from, and of course, when it comes to like other characters, there's other characters like we also have like Tibbles as well as Basha.
Basha, yes. It's funny. There's also Skara, but funny thing, I'm running my own version of the Owl House. Yes, I'm doing a shameless plug called Twins in the Bullying Isles. My OC Lucas Nocera, who is Luz's twin brother, he's more into Percy Jackson, and yes, he's gonna be. And spoiler alert, he's gonna have a little crush on Skara.
Yep, and of course we have Hunter himself.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to hate him as well, but honestly, he's not that bad.
Yeah, like throughout the series, you could make the argument that he was basically working with the collector. With Emperor Belos at first, but he doesn't realize that Belos is actually planning on doing harm to the Boiling Isles at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also, his whole life is a lie. But spoilers. And there's also V.
She's voiced by the same voice actress who voiced Amethyst in Steven Universe.
I'm not gonna lie, I wanted more of her. But
yeah, it's the same. She only got like maybe one episode of Focus.
I wouldn't be surprised she had a crush on another girl, but I doubt we're gonna see it. But I get that end up like covering floor.
Yeah.
Okay, take a shot every time we say thanks a lot, Disney.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if around the time that this episode aired, people were basically saying, "Oh, there's an imposter among us."
Yeah, that.
Yep, and of course,
Among Us jokes. I'm guessing.
Any issues that happen throughout this show can usually rushed character arcs can be attributed to Disney.
Shut.
Or
things got so desperate near the end to the point where they ended up having to shorten the intro of the show for certain episodes because Dana Terrace was only given like 20 episodes in season 2, and it was clear that they were reaching an impossible deadline, so they had to cut down the intro a lot.
Yeah, which is something I noticed during the watch along that those intros had to be shortened, and because Disney is assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Disney, here's an idea. Why couldn't you cut a certain other show that we know of, one that overstayed its welcome and doesn't have yellow skin.
Honestly, this also begs the question. I honestly thought it was like an error on my copies, but no, it actually was the copies themselves that had it was not an error.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And of course, we have Tibble, the character that apparently they think is a great character. They think is a great villain.
Honestly, I think that only his first appearance, as well as the episode where I think the episode where he basically scams Ida's mom into buying certain books, were really necessary to the show. His last appearance where he basically sells copies of the book that Luz really likes was not necessary.
Yeah,
Why? What was even the point of bringing him back here?
honestly, he's more like the Toyinator. He kind of reminds of the Toyinator from Kids Next Door. Just to be mocked.
So yeah, we've talked about every character, and now it's time to get a bit into some of each season, and as well as a few of the episodes. So I think it's only fair that we tackle a few of the episodes that are the weakest.
Yeah. I'm gonna to get this right out of the way. Season 1, while it's still good, was the weakest season of the entire show.
I think
This is due to what TV Tropes calls early installment weirdness.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's always we always tend to cut first season slack because this is back when things were new and things were getting established.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Though it does make things a lot more weird to go back to. There are some shows that are more rough to go back to than others, especially season 1 of Code Lyoko. Especially given that later on that show got so much better compared to season 1. But I'll say this right now. The Owl House season 1 is better than Code Lyoko season 1 because every episode is at least different from the last. There are certain motivations that do make season 1 a little rough to go back to.
Understandable, yeah.
Yeah,
I can say the same thing with Amphibious season 1.
There's of course the only filler episode of season 1 in existence.
Yeah, Once Upon a Swap.
The one episode that pretty much most people can agree is the show's weakest episode.
Yeah.
The one that it's the only one that you can actually skip.
Unlike a certain Star Wars Indeed Giant.
Yeah. At least like this episode, one of the biggest problems with this episode is how stupid that they made Luz, King, and Ida in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as well as how disappointing execution of the body swap plot.
Also, I'm just gonna say this missed opportunity to have Luz turn into the Owl Beast.
And
Like with Luz, she ends up putting the sign up, drawing more attention to herself. King basically destroys the teen's hideout, and Ida decides to stay in that shop despite the fact that she's literally in King's body, and she literally has to get back to King and Luz.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sissy though, like, and as I said, it's the only episode you can ever skip. Like this episode does not get brought up in any way, shape, or form throughout this show.
And it says a lot. I mean, unlike what Star Giant Productions thinks, we'll get to that later on.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Although another episode that I didn't really like all that much was Escape of the Palaceman, where King is the cause of all the problems that happened in the episode.
Oh yeah, that one.
Lou's getting Ida's palisman lost was mainly because of the fact that King basically decided to lend her stick to lend Ida's stick to Luz, and Luz ends up accidentally getting the palisman lost to the point where she has to go through a bunch of challenges in order to get it back. And King was basically almost got Ida captured.
Oh yeah.
Basically, an episode that people think that King haters of King think King's character actually is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I mean, to be fair, he is a power hungry little guy, but that's part of his character at first. Until season 2, but we'll get to that.
But even still, this episode is definitely King at his worst.
And of course, the last of the week episodes is, of course, Something Ventured, Something Framed, which was basically a liar revealed story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Star Giant's least favorite troops.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, season 2 and 3 doesn't really have any episodes that's considered the weakest, and even the weakest one is not like, good.
No,
Like to me, with the exception of Escape of the Palisman, all of the show's weakest episodes are in the first half of season 1, while the best episodes are in the second half.
yeah, it's really. I feel the same way. Amphibia. Season 1, it's just filler, which is fine. But season 2 is pretty much where the adventure begins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Season 1 definitely has quite a few standout episodes to come back to.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we have the fan favorite everyone agrees upon. Of course, we have, Enchanting Grom Fright.
Oh yeah, that's that one.
No surprise
Yeah,
there.
the most famous episode of them all. Fun fact: that episode appeared the same night as the Amphibia episode that Wax Museum, which was basically a crossover with Gravity Falls.
I know a guy.
Which I'd like to add canon that they all share the same, like, the universe, just different dimensions.
Exactly. It's more connected than the Sony verse.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Exactly, Ryan.
Yeah.
Yep. Which other standout episodes of season 1 come to mind?
Oh, there's understanding Willow, where we got to go into detail about why Amity and Willow stopped being friends.
Yeah, that was an episode. Yeah, aside from Enchanting Grand Fright, this is probably my second favorite episode of that particular season as well.
I'm gonna say for me, I'm gonna say the one where the Boiling Rain episode where
we're talking about season 1 at the moment.
No, I'm talking about the one where they're stuck in the owl house, and Luz learns her first spell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the intruder.
Yes, the intruder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that episode was very dark.
Yeah, and with the first instance of this show actually feeling like it was actually going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Let's see. Other standout episodes in season 1. Is definitely,
hold on, I have to attend something real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, right. Like there was also, of course, the final 2 episodes of season 1.
Oh yeah, those.
Yeah. The end credits. The end credits on the episode "Agony of a Witch" was very haunting.
Yep.
Boy.
And of course, the end. Of course, the finale of Youngblood Old Souls made us definitely look forward to see what would happen in season 2.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Though Disney being Disney, the gap between the final episode of season 1 was between August 29th, 2020, and the first episode of season 2 premiered on June 12th of 2021.
Screw them.
That's quite a long gap.
Mm-hmm.
And of
Though
course,
this
this
was
show,
though that was around the time when season 2 of Amphibia ended, so I'd say so that was probably the right time for season 2 of the Owl House to air.
Yep, and also fuck Disney for delaying True Colors at the last minute. Sorry.
Yep. And let's see, every other season, one episode that comes to mind as a standout. Yeah, I mean, there were other episodes that also come to mind. Like I still remember in the watch along for Really Small Problems where we made nothing but jokes about Mr. Horse.
Yeah, that was comedy gold. Get back over here, you brain dead moron! I'm going to kill you for liking the Star Wars sequel trilogy.
Oh boy, that was fun. Remember during the watch-alongs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I'm back.
that alone, the watch along experience alone elevated Really Small Problems for me as an episode that helped not only help me love the dynamic of King and Luz, but also like I said, the watch along experience definitely helped that episode quite a bit.
Yeah, we were making a bunch of jokes revolving around Mr. Horse. Then again, me and Matthew the Prep also made jokes about Mr. Horse during our watch along of Runes.
Right.
Yep. And that's as far as the standouts of season 1. And of course that quality continues to pick up in season 2.
Yep.
Yeah. In the season 2 premiere, Luz does what Robbie Rotten did in Lazy Town, and she becomes a pirate.
Drink up me hearty yo ho.
Yep, season 2 definitely has quite a few great episodes. Like the one I've seen people talk about is Knock Knock Knocking on Hootie's Door.
Yeah.
What was the one where King finds out about his past, where he finds that they are a piece of his skull?
Yeah, like
Oh yeah.
I swear. I swear. Someone actually pointed this out that the music where King is and Luz were talking, it sounded like it came from The Last of Us.
yeah, like that episode had like you know how Disney screwed this show over. There's that episode felt like it had that could have been like 3 separate episodes. But all of them are in the same episode together because they take place at the exact same time.
Yeah. Though I do still love the episode regardless because mainly because of Hootie himself.
Yeah, like
Yes.
yeah. Not only is it nice to finally get a Hootie episode but also to have this episode basically wrap up a lot of the loose ends.
Also,
Actually,
we got some insight about Ida and Rain's relationship before the events of the show.
Also, in this episode in particular, it's when Luz and Amity officially become a couple.
Oh yeah. Though in Japan it was quite different. It's more like, oh, you want to dress up in costumes together, or something like that.
Yep, and of course, other season 2 favorites include Yesterday's Lie, which introduced V.
Yes.
Though after this episode, Disney was being Disney again and put the show on a hiatus between August 14th, 2021, all the way to March 19th, 2022.
Again, take a shot. Fuck you, Disney.
Exactly. Fuck Disney for what they did.
I'm thinking of that jab at that I'm in the trailer for the art book. Made 100% by humans. Now that's rare.
And of course, we have Hollow Mind.
Oh yeah. What we learned about Bella. I felt like the way it starts with Luz and Hunter inside somewhere else.
Yeah. This is the episode that officially made Hunter become traumatized.
Yep. And of course, this is to me the show's most probably Disney's most horrifying episode of any show.
Yeah, we literally.
I'm surprised that this episode was even allowed to be aired because it really does push Disney at some of their Disney horror at its biggest.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Next to Marcy getting stabbed.
Trust me, of course, Disney has had plenty of moments that could be considered horror. Of course, the Pinocchio movie, the original, Fantasia.
The Black Cauldron.
Yeah, but
as
far as their cartoons, this is probably the one that definitely pushed how it's capable at some really good horror. But
I'm surprised that the show wasn't rated TV PG.
Like says it not only does that episode give all the information towards Bellows, but
while we were watching this episode, we basically put in this particular talking point. This is Mr. Enter finding out about all of Ryan Kureski's crimes in a nutshell.
Yeah. I wasn't there for that. But
we're just basically watching two kids be forced to accept hard to swallow truths that Luz was indirectly responsible for the reign of King Bellows.
Yep.
Good God, don't even get me started on Emperor Bellows.
Yeah, I did.
Though not much changed when Bellows ended up getting his hands on the collector.
Yep. And of course, there's Ida's Requiem, which introduced, of course, Rain.
Oh yeah, her. Them. I'm sorry.
And then there's, of course, Reaching Out, which is basically one of the best Amity and Luz-centered episodes we've gotten.
Oh yeah, I was about to mention that episode where we finally get the insight about Luz. Okay, I learned something about okay, when Luz was encountered at Abomatron, it reminded her of a siren that took her, an ambulance siren from what I remember, because we finally learn about Luz's father. He's been dead.
And of course, finally there's the last two episodes of season 2. Clouds on the Horizon, and of course, King's Tide.
Yep.
Yeah. This King's Tide was the last episode aired before the show went on another hiatus between May 28th, 2022 and October 15th of 2022.
Can you imagine? I'm gonna say, can you imagine if the show got ended when Luz says, "I'm back"?
Yep. With Clouds on the Horizon, it finally gave us the Lumity kiss.
Yep.
And like I said, that sequence, alongside pretty much all the smoothly animated ones, are quite possibly some of the best animation in the history of television.
Oh yeah.
And while we're at it, one thing you'll notice in season 2 is that Amity's hair got changed.
Yeah, and that's apparent, and that's because Amity's Odalia basically forced her hair to look all green and stuff.
Yeah, I prefer Amity's pink hair than her green hair. It makes her stand out. Plus, she looks adorable with pink hair.
Yep, and of course, the King's Tide of course, Clouds on the Horizon was the episode that made us all go, "Fuck you, Odalia."
Yeah,
again, she makes
exactly.
The West with Mother Teresa.
And of course, King's Tide finally introduced us to, of course, the Collector, who has been appearing throughout this season as a shadow.
Yep.
Yeah, Bellows literally betrayed the Collector.
Yeah. And when we finally see the collector, he's basically a child.
Though he's an immortal child.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, and when we finally got to that cliffhanger at the end, we were all pretty like I wasn't there during when the show was still new, but I'm pretty
I wasn't
sure
there either.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people would have been like anxious to see how it concludes after King's sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like around the time of season 3, there were very long hiatuses between all three of them. Like October, like the first episode was aired on October 15th, 2022. The second one was January 21st, 2023, and the finale was on April 8th, 2023. That's almost a full year after the season 2 finale.
Like seriously though, like oh yeah, and that leads up to season 3, which was pretty much just converted to specials. Although if I were to do anything,
Though if I'm gonna be honest, I consider season 3 as season 2B, considering the fact that all three of these episodes are 45 minutes long, and plus this same thing happened with Gravity Falls, where the final 3 episodes were basically a trilogy. So I consider this a trilogy as well.
yeah, like
Fair enough.
If I were to compile
I just call it the Collector Trilogy.
yeah, that's what I call it as well. Like if I hope someone tries to edit all three of those episodes and try to make it look like it was a movie
Mm-hmm.
because they're all interconnected.
Yeah, they're it's basically the show's own TV movie.
Yeah, like seriously though, like this is more of a movie than anything Butch Hartman could have done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I defy you, Heartman.
That is certainly saying quite a lot, I must say.
And to give our thoughts on all three of them, thanks to them was probably definitely a lot more low key compared. It was definitely a lot more calmer compared to what was happening in the previous season.
Yeah,
a lot lower.
And it also basically shows us what Dana Terrace would have done if she got more episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, like as we see, literally everyone as we see all the kids now stuck in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, as we see them adjust, and we're still dealing with the after effects because Luz was still traumatized.
Mm-hmm.
Which of course brings us into like the next episode.
Oh, by the way, something about thanks to them is that one scene where Bellows kills Flapjack. Like, again, if this isn't proof that Bellows is an irredeemable monster, I don't know what is. Then of course, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, hey, Ryan Koreski, for the future is important.
Exactly. I was just about to say that.
Yeah, because for the future establishes who the collector is.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And no, it's not like Once Upon a Swap where it's a skippable episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like if for the future which was to be skipped, how would we learn about the collector?
Mm-hmm.
How would we learn his motives?
We wouldn't even know who the collector is.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And of course, we finally have the final episode of the series with Watching and Dreaming.
Mm-hmm.
That's it's where the show basically it comes to a bittersweet end.
Yep. As of course, we finally get the collector gets a redemption, but even more so is of course what happens throughout that as the collector finally learns what mortality is, and of course there's of course the instance where Belus nearly killed Luz.
Yeah, and it was all this was finally a wake up call for the collector. Considering the fact that he learns that mortality is not something that you can play with, and that someone can die out of your control.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and even more so is the moment that Luz nearly died. King and Ida were very furious with what they just witnessed. Like, you could hear the grief and anger.
Yeah, and like it really does show how far that King and Ida came, considering the fact that that King is able to turn into a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were ready to literally go after Bellows for doing that. Like, you can to the point where they almost consider it as family, or at least Luz's secondary family. And of course, that leads us to, of course, Luz meeting, of course, King's father.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it was nice to see that the Titan himself still does care about King, but he can't be there for him because he's trapped.
Oh, yeah, and by the way, I'm going to say this once again to you, Ryan Koreski. The Owl House was not intentionally trying to rip off Amphibia, and plus that Easter egg at the end of the season 2 finale was not meant to basically imply that they're trying to rip off Amphibia at all.
Which, for the record, I'm not a fan of something actually being a ripoff. The accusations of being a ripoff.
It's seriously, it's only valid when say the Asylum does it.
Yes,
or when
saying that it's a rep. That
Like,
it would be like saying that Kimba
Kaido.
the White. It would be like saying that the Kimba that Lion King is a ripoff of Kimba the White Lion, despite the fact that multiple people have already debunked those.
Yep.
Yeah, the pointer in which using the ripoff complaint is valid is with the movie that we watched a few days ago, the Emoji Movie, which ripped off the Lego Movie Inside Out and Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh yeah, speaking of that movie, Willow's voice actor was in that movie.
What?
Yeah. I'm not
Yeah.
shitting you.
And also,
like-
blame my wheel for doing this.
Yeah. True. All I will say right now is that true. I'm not going to give out many spoilers here. The finale to the Owl House did have some notable similarities to the finale of Amphibia, but both finales basically execute this different enough to where it's not it can't be considered a ripoff.
And of course, that leads to, of course, the defeat of course, Bellows.
I love that joke that they did where Bellows tried to say, "Oh, I was basically corrupted by something," and they basically don't believe him and beat the tar out of him.
Yeah.
Right, so he basically transformed into someone else. So
Into Philip.
Yep. Yeah,
right, so he was still alive after being defeated. Huh.
Well,
Weird.
not for long, because it then started raining acid, and he ended up melting away.
Mm-hmm.
It was, of course, King, Ida, and Rain stepping on him. Again, it's always a good to remind ourselves that villains are just pure evil and deserve to die.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and of course that finally leads us to the end credits where we see all of the older versions of the characters in the show.
Mhm. And Luz and Amity are now adults.
Going to college.
Yep, yeah, and of course, and yeah, to say that this was a bittersweet way to go out on, it's definitely something.
Even if,
Like I said, even if Disney
has
fucked
to
the show
over colossally.
Yeah. Like we mentioned before, they decided to cancel this show because it, quote, didn't fit the Disney brand. Presumably because of the fact that this show got very dark at times, and also because of Disney trying to suck up to China.
For fuck's sake, you have 20th Century Studios.
And you have Pixar and all these other stuff.
And not to mention, Disney makes $1 billion every year.
Exactly.
Yeah, like sis, like
No matter how many times Chuds keep claiming that Disney is doing woke. I mean, they only care about making money at the end, not pushing an agenda.
Like
Okay, so you cancel the Owl House, and yet hold up. Oh shit.
Yeah, like sis, Disney isn't bad because it's gone woke.
It's because of the many decisions that they made over the past couple of years.
Exactly. And one of those bad decisions includes screwing over beloved shows like The Owl House.
Not to mention either, there's also what they did to The Ghost and Molly McGee, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, Haley's on it, and this recent show that I've been hearing about called Stugo, apparently it's canceled now.
Right.
Because of course, it's Disney's doing.
Okay, hey Disney. So you canceled that show, and yet you allowed 20th Century Studios to make this.
Oh yeah, Predator Killer of Killers. Wonder how bad that is.
You canceled the show for being too dark, and yet you did absolutely nothing with this.
Yeah, or is it a good movie?
Yeah, and Disney. I also remember when Disney basically did Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which I heard horrible things about.
And not to mention the fact that they used AI to de-age Harrison Ford.
Oh.
By
the way,
that was Industrial Light
I
and
think
Magic.
that was like way before AI slop was a thing, like a little bit before.
But sis, sis, the way Disney screwed this show over will never not make us livid. Like sis, sis, I want to make grifters would hate this show.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean,
thankfully, Mrs. Terrace now works at a much better company, more competent.
Yeah,
Well,
Glitch Productions.
Something I was going to say. I have several story ideas. I'm not going to cater to China's anti-LGBT stuff.
Yep.
Or any countries.
Of course not. I would never cater to
like Knights of Guinevere as a show is basically a huge jab at Disney.
Hey, I got an idea for Knights of Guinevere. How about we do a watch along for every episode that gets released?
Yeah, like says
I mean, the first episode is out, and we haven't heard any news about the other episodes yet.
Okay, let's do a double feature of that in the second episode when it gets released, and then we just do a standalone episode from there.
Yeah, like, all right. So
Not a
yeah.
bad idea.
Oh, by the way, one thing about this show is that this show is it's been announced that there's going to be like a graphic novel of this show.
That's
Oh,
going to serve
yeah.
as a continuation.
Though I don't know. I do know that Dana Terrace still has resentment towards Disney after what happened, and I honestly don't blame her.
Like,
Here.
I don't.
Let me
blame
tell
her
you,
in the
she would
slightest.
absolutely hate working for Warner Brothers.
Like, seriously though, like, it's a shame that we'll never get like a sequel series to the series because of course Disney owns the Owl House, and if she were to ever try to make a sequel series to this in animation form, boom, she'd be sued.
Yeah. Like she'd go into debt more than you would if you bought a Switch 2 and a copy of Mario Kart World at launch.
Again,
unfortunately-
My
so
Switch
unfortunately-
2 was basically came with Mario Kart World, but don't worry, I've yet to go bankrupt.
But like, any chance of Donna ever trying to make a sequel to the series and for making a sequel series would not happen.
Yeah, although I theorize that that if she were to hypothetically make a sequel series to the Owl House, it would probably be an adult cartoon or something.
Probably like how Gennady Tartakovsky did with Samurai Jack season 5.
Yeah, although all I will say right now is that the adult version of the Owl House would not be like adult party cartoon, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it would be more like a horror kind rather than a comedy.
All right,
Right.
yeah. Donna Terrace is based. Unsubscribe
Yeah.
from Disney Plus. Pirate Owl House.
This is what got me into watching the show right there.
And I'm doing the same with all
was-
shows that are owned by Disney currently.
Yeah, Matt Braley, the creator of Amphibia, launched a Kickstarter for a new series of his.
And I hope it goes well.
But wait a minute, there's more.
If you pay us, we'll let you make your own content slot. Then we will you can draw and write and post your own shit for free. Bob Iger and his ilk are fucking gold.
Yes.
Yes,
and
Those
now your
two tweets,
successor is no better.
those two tweets right there just gave me a lot of respect for this individual.
Dana Terrace is base for saying this.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
and thankfully she isn't forced to write an apology like C.H. Greenblatt was forced to do.
I would anybody who is an anti-AI person, mostly, I would gladly endorse.
Exactly. In fact, as someone who also stands against generative AI, unlike a certain other animator who thrives on using it and was also
fuck
added
you,
as a
Danny.
tweet, I would never use Gen AI in any of my works, whether it be for television or film or the web. I would never use Gen AI. If my work happens to get tainted with Gen AI, I don't know what to say. I'll probably disown it.
Yeah, like seriously though, good on Donna Terrace that she's able to now have a better career working for Glitch.
Yeah, and good on her for taking jabs at Disney, similar to what Shrek did.
Yep. I just hope that she doesn't suffer the same problem as Gooseworks. If you know what's been going on with them.
My
Yeah.
God, the internet is so merciless.
She Gooseworks got harassed because she did something. She was wanting to do something with Pomni and Jax that the internet didn't want her to do.
Oof.
Gooseworks did not deserve to be harassed.
That should definitely tell you something about the modern internet.
Mm-hmm.
Where harassment is pretty much now commonplace.
But then
Of course,
again, what do I expect?
I blame
from the
RLM for that
like-
because they help
like-
normalize prequel hate, normalized harassing people for the prequels by practically giving them ammo. But that's a video for another topic.
I mean, this is the internet. I mean, where it's okay to harass Vimsy Pop as well.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, that goes rampant on a daily, if not daily basis. I mean, Mr. Boone, AI slopaganda channels.
Grifters.
Hang on, I'll show you an example of an AI slopaganda channel that did just that.
I'll just say my rankings out loud. Season 1, a 7 out of 10. Season 2, 9 out of 10. And Season 3, or the Collector Trilogy, a 10 out of 10. Well, since it's 3 episodes.
Yeah, like seriously though, like of course we have the animation is cinema idiots.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
those fools.
They use things like the Mario movie to say that animation is cinema.
Yep.
Pathetic, I must say. Anyways,
I liked the Mario movie, and I consider it as one of the best movies that Illumination did since Despicable Me 2. But it's not deserving of the animation is cinema label.
You gotta
exactly.
find more obscure and more mature-oriented movies.
And besides, as you see on screen, folks, is what I'm talking about with the AI slopaganda channels. These are a very, very common sight on YouTube nowadays.
How is Elliot? How is how?
Can you take that out, please? I cannot stand looking at it.
How is Elio woke exactly, guys?
Like I recall one YouTuber literally saying that Elliot endorses pedophilia.
I just want to facepalm right now. And another stupid thing. Labeling Little Ellen woke. Even though that show failed because of the fact that it was bad timing. Mind you, Ellen DeGeneres was getting in a lot of hot water for mistreatment on her show. And yet Little Ellen wound up being released as if nothing ever happened.
Yeah. Like the only part of Elio that I truly didn't like was the sequence where Glorden has Elio get into his mouth, but other than that, no, Elio does not endorse pedophilia at all.
Mm-hmm. So this is why I don't watch most online critics. I mean, apart from Double Toasted and a few other smaller channels, but because people come up with such nonsense.
So many of them tend to come up with pathetic things to say, honestly.
So yeah, to wrap up our final thoughts on this show.
Easily one of Disney's best animated shows of all time.
For sure.
And certainly
Usually one of the best animated shows of this entire decade so far.
For their 2020s television output.
Yes.
Yeah. Though at the moment, Disney is not really putting any sort of animated shows into production. Like, the only show that they have currently airing is Big City Greens and the revival of Phineas and Ferb.
Mm-hmm.
That shows how little Disney actually cares
about animation specifically. Meanwhile, they're putting all this money and all these other stuff into familiar IPs like Star Wars live action remakes. And yeah.
This is, like I said, this is why I chose to go see Hoppers.
Mm-hmm.
And give that money to remind Disney that they need to treat their animations better and give us original content.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even though I've yet to see
like-
Hoppers, but
And given that the director is the creator of We Bare Bears, that's honestly why that's worth checking out.
I mean, yeah. Although, again, I've yet to see it, but maybe someday I will. Who knows? So why don't we wrap it up with one more huge news that I've stumbled across.
Okay.
And we might as well end it with with our final thoughts with yet another fuck you to Disney for fucking
Yeah.
this show over.
I'm gonna turn on my camera now.
Hold on.
Fuck you, Disney, for screwing the show over.
Fuck you, Disney.
I'm gonna get over to my MacBook so I could give the middle finger as well.
Fuck you for pandering to China and their anti-LGBT laws.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yep.
Oh, and also, while we're at it, please fuck off for what you did for that Mulan remake.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Fuck off for canceling one of the best animated shows of this entire decade so far.
Mhm.
Yeah. A Critical Human has been suspended.
And
God.
Twitter
yep,
of all sites? Dang.
I did an audio clip mocking him.
that was funny.
You know what?
Yep.
Let
Yeah.
me put that to video form and show it to you.
Wait,
Yeah.
did he actually get banned?
I believe he did. In fact, I actually went to check out his Twitter and nothing was there. It actually said that.
Good, that cocksucker deserves to be banned.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Let me. Before we end it, I'm just gonna.
By the way, while we're still on the topic of saying "fuck you" to Disney, Bob Iger and Chapek, I hope that the next president that comes in will basically fix all the damage that both of you guys did to the company.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I found that he did get banned.
Dang. And of Twitter of all sites. The site owned by Muskrat.
Yep. In fact, I'm
Thank
actually gonna
God
drop-
for
I'm
Elon
actually
Musk.
dropping it in the chat
And
right
his
now.
shitpost memes.
If I could do so. Hold on. Just give me oh crap. I'm gonna drop it in the chat for just a moment. Now I just gotta go into desktop mode on my phone. Ah, crud.
All right, I have the meme ready. Everybody, it's me. Hey there, everybody, it's me, a critical human, and I really think that the one German leader was truly a master of the human race, though not as bad as Donald Trump, though.
Easily hilarious.
He
Hold
deserves
on.
to be banned for life.
I mean, after all, that's pretty much what he said. Good
So, yeah.
God. Fuck
I am-
this guy.
I just put something in the chat. That link leads you to my Blue Sky post on the matter.
I can't even fucking see it.
Oh, it's not. Well, then I'll have to put it in the. Oh, yeah. I'll also put it in the private chat. Whoops. Huh, crap. Oh, crap. Hang on a second. There we go.
All right, let's take a look at it. Let's hold up. Let me share my screen. Wow, unbelievable. It just never.
Can you put it up?
Oh,
You forgot to put it up. You can show off my
it
post.
was freezing. It was freezing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I think I can put up your post.
Okay. I got the screen ready.
You do?
Yes.
Very well.
Another moment that and some other things that we forgot to mention about the Owl House is that it can be very funny. Like I love the part in that one episode where King is basically the teacher, and at the end of the episode, the principal basically kicks him out of the school.
Okay, I got my screen ready. You can show it now.
Wait.
Okay. Let me wait. All right, ready, set, go.
Right there.
Yep, a rare Twitter W.
And there's also this one other moment that movie cartoon fanatic really loves, where when Hootie gets close to Amity's face, she basically hits Hootie.
Yeah, that moment
Well
will never not
deserved.
be funny.
Well deserved. Since he was such a bitch in that episode.
Like I don't know. I will never not get tired of seeing Amity beat the shit out of Hootie.
I think he pretty much deserves it for being annoying.
But yeah. The Owl House is definitely a fantastic show that should be seen, but for the regard, do not get Disney Plus for it.
Yeah. Do what Robbie Rotten did in that one Lazy Town episode and sail the 7 seas.
At least that way, you're actually doing the creator's commands.
Exactly.
Like,
In
yeah.
fact-
Oh, by the way, I still have the the Google Drive for the entire show, so I can definitely give it to you if you want. If any person here asks for it.
Okay.
We can't like give it away like completely publicly because that would mean like everyone would just come in.
Yeah, and Disney
that would be a massive problem.
and Disney would probably come in and try to shoot that down.
Right.
All right, so with that out of the way, that's our closing statements on the Owl House, and the next show we're gonna be discussing is the Fairly Odd Parents.
Please.
The first
Oh boy,
the
this
first
should be
show
fun.
the first show from the man who quote created our childhoods.
Nope, fuck this. I'm not going to be in that episode. I think this was a pretty good one to be in. Yeah, I pretty much stayed my welcome here.
Yep, it's gonna be quite the doozy talking about that show.
Oh boy. In fact, I didn't really binge all the episodes of that series.
I've seen practically every episode from the original run.
Jesus.
It's gonna be quite the doozy talking about that show.
It would be quite a nightmare having to do so. And as a quick aside, I probably won't be on that one.
Yeah, and unlike with SpongeBob, where that show basically started going through seasonal rot due to the fact that Hillenburg was not involved in any way whatsoever, and Nickelodeon was basically giving them harsh deadlines. With the Fairly Odd Parents, Butch Hartman has always been involved with Fairly Odd Parents during its peak and when the show started going through seasonal rot.
Yeah, that's pretty much all on Butch himself. He is a full ass of himself.
Exactly.
Like,
and when it comes to his views on autism, especially.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
wasn't he wasn't the reason why Fairly Odd Parents was good. Steve Marmel was, and he also didn't do the character designs on any of his shows. Steven Silver did that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and one of the things that made it really bad was Ray De Laurentiis.
Yep, and of course the fact that he continued to steal credit as being the guy who brought it to life. But the more he got control of his flagship show,
The worse
Well,
it got.
yep,
Oh yeah, Ray De Laurentiis himself would later go on and be the writer for the Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild.
Oh,
so
God.
so until then, see you next time when we talk about the Fairly Odd Parents.
Yep.
Oh
Peace.
boy.
All right. Till next time.
Peace, y'all.